How's it going, guys? Welcome back to 60 Seconds Reatomized. We got ourselves like a month under our belt. It's going pretty well. I'm pretty happy with our progress at the moment. If there's one thing we need to do, it's to get a radio. I know. No eating today. Very little to manage. We played a little game of list the things you hate the most, and our neighbor's name kept coming up for some reason. That reminded us of the little weasel had a safe in his living room. We always wondered what's inside. Maybe now's the time to finally find out? But who will do the honors of stealing the possessions of our arch nemesis? Well, I think Dolores needs to kind of hold the bunker down, make sure nothing gets too crazy. What the shit did we grow? Looks like we have our own little shop of horrors or whatever. Feed me! We totally do! I can't remember the character's name right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. I want to say that the mutated plant was like Audrey. Audrey? Aubrey? I can't think. Mean green mother from outer space, but it's gonna drive me crazy. After an expedition, the scavengers should be fed and given time to regain their strength. Oh shit, Dolores. I hope you're not sick. I think she's just looking ratty from it being 3 weeks. We marched to Ned's house and found the safe cracked open by the blast. Most of its contents were destroyed, but we still salvaged something out of it. Ned was nowhere to be found. Our neighbor is Ned Flanders. He likely perished in radioactive agony. All told, it was a good day. He was our nemesis after all. I was wondering if it was going to add the plant and be like, you have to decide whether or not you want to feed the plant, and I thought that would be very cool. She's just fatigued. Just fatigued. Well, you guys can eat and try and rest up. Tentacles! Tentacles everywhere! Is that a monster from Mars? Wait, they're not tentacles. It's the damn plant Mary Jane is growing. It's mutated and is out of control, and their teeth, they're huge. We need to do something. I can't do anything, apparently. We can't even give it some food, or at least move your chair further away from it. I don't know why you insist on planting yourself up right next to it. Is that how plants are supposed to grow? It died so suddenly. Poor diet, bad health, or injuries decreased chances of survival. I was hoping it would last a little while. It didn't eat us, but Ted got bitten. Or maybe he knocked his head on the wall? One way or the other, we all need plenty of bandages to sort this out. Ted is not here. So I think he's fine for the time being. You're just fatigued. Oh, and hurt. So I think it was just an error. Dolores got bitten. Damn it. Before the world turned into an unforgiving, dead wasteland, we were friends with almost everyone in our town, including the old man Jim, who would shamble through our street often and always said hello. When we wanted to visit him once, he gave us an address that took us to a park. Old man Jim is such a joker. It appears that he survived the blast since he's at our door right now, asking if we want to buy a rock. Pass. He's a joker. He's a shambler. I don't think that's the type of guy that we want to, like, put too much reliance in. I don't think we need to be doing any wheelings and dealings there. Poor Ted. Not all mutants are dangerous. This one sure as shit was. Oh, you can see her leg is actually straight up bandaged up from that bite there. Whoops. You need to be really careful with door-to-door salesmen. Way too often they try to sell you junk like that. We like to think we make informed and reasonable purchases, like this apron with the American flag we got just before the blast. It was a real bargain. I think that's not actually what she's wearing. It must be up at the house. Why couldn't we bring that down with us? Get some patriotism to see us through. That old man didn't sell aprons, so obviously we told him to go away. Ted has returned from the voyage. He brought the map back with him. Half our local city hall has been completely obliterated. The other half, however, looked promising. So we went in to investigate the ruins. One of the surviving rooms was a small maintenance closet. The only thing inside was a bucket full of water with a mop standing in it. We managed to fill some bottles with the contents of the bucket. It does look a bit funny. We just hope it doesn't taste of soap or something worse. The mayor's secretary was a sweet old lady who loved music. The mayor let us keep a radio so she could listen to it while she worked. It's still here and undamaged. I cannot friggin' believe we got a radio back after all of that. Dehydrated. You guys need that. I'm trying to give her food to recover, hopefully, probably. I think I need to send Mary Jane back out again because I need more food, basically. Yesterday, during surveys, we learned that Mary Jane doesn't know how to spell anti-disestablishmentarianism, and it left Dolores. You gotta teach her a little bit of homeschooling. Oh, but it's gonna make her fatigued, and then she probably can't go on an expedition. That might have been a mistake. Yeah, not looking too great. Not all strangers are out to hurt you. Gotta build some trust. Dolores does not mess around. What started out as a spelling exercise has quickly found its way to a math revision, followed by a short physics course, blah blah blah, and we improved our shelter by finding a first aid kit, which is dope. That's great. That's great for us all around. She is hurt. He is straight up sick. We'll try and get him through that with just food, is my thinking, and tired and fatigued. You guys are just gonna have to suck it up, I think. I might have to send Dolores up top. I don't know if her being hurt affects her ability to do it or anything like that. In which case, I think I need to recover Ted, because you need like one healthy adult down here. You could take the map again. The map seems to be consistently very useful. So I'm thinking that's the right bet. I don't know. I didn't expect this to last this long. I thought it would fail a lot sooner than this. Seen that before. Dolores is on her way to the surface. She takes the map. Ted is recovered, but he's dehydrated. She's doing fine. And hungry. I want you guys to be on like a similar rotation, so she's gonna get water. This morning we were surprised to find a letter on our doorstep. It was not signed and it contained a location and time for a meeting tonight. In a few sentences it said things like, "We're friendly, come unarmed, send one person." We have no idea who could have sent that, but we're guessing this is our chance to find out. Are we sending someone? Mary Jane's on the case. I'm feeling risky, I guess. Might as well. We'll see what's going on. Hunger leads to starvation, starvation to death. It's true, it's all true. There really are others just like us. We arrived at the rendezvous unarmed, and on time, and we were greeted by a friendly-looking group of survivors. They're being led by twins, a brother and sister who seem to be friendly enough. They're asking us questions, promise to stay in touch. That's fine. All of that seems okay. I'm not worried about it. We can keep sitting on our backs or just use the radio. Let's try and keep our ears open and radio people. Yeah, those are good. Sweet sounds. It's been a month underground almost. So I'm hoping we found something. Good news, the government made a radio broadcast about extracting survivors from our area. The announcer asked everyone listening to wait a while longer and expect further communication in a few days. We'll be out of here soon. That's our hope at the very least. Still not starving. I don't want you to get malnourished though. So I'm gonna try. It's been a few days since they drank, I think. I'm trying to cycle things. Barely breathe in a damn shelter for the last couple hours. The situation is beginning noticeably worse. There might be something wrong with the ventilation system. Maybe it's stuck. If that's the case, we need to look into fixing it right away. I don't really know what the bug spray would do. Maybe it's clogged full of gross bug corpses. The book has been repeating itself a lot, so I think I'm okay with spending it. Oh great, Mary Jane is sick again. Consider taking a suitcase for trips. I know that one. Using the handbook to research vent maintenance seemed like a fair idea. We figured if it's full of pointers on how to fix things, it must have a chapter on nuclear shelter air filtration systems. Before we could even check, we were invaded by a group of angry mutant insects, which flew out of that cursed vent. Their stings hurt like hell and seemed to give us a fever. Shit. I don't know if we should have just not dealt with it or if that was the right course. Now do I feed them to help them recover more quickly? I'm stuck. Mary Jane has been awful silent today. It's very unlike her. Should we try talking to her? Yeah, she's feeling blue. We should try and step up and do the right thing. Try and help her through this. Dolores, welcome back. Good to see you. Nothing solves problems better than an honest conversation over a hot beverage. We don't have the latter, but talking alone seems to do the trick. That's good. That's very nice. Our map really took a beating during our expedition. It's nearly unusable now. Yikes. That is a bit of a mess. What's all this spilled all over it? Orange juice, and you didn't bring any back for us? We're sitting here living on soup, and you're drinking other liquids without us? Dolores is still hurt and may take a while before getting better. Shit. That sucks that she's still hurt. If we don't cure Mary Jane soon, who knows what's going to happen. She's sleepy all the time. She has no energy. She keeps fainting. We really need to find her something to drink. You're dehydrated. You can probably use a bit of everything. And also dehydrated. Yikes. Managed to not bring anything back, hey? That was rough. A sleazy-looking trader carrying an equally scruffy bag on his shoulder paid us a visit. He offered us a simple one-time deal. For just one can of soup, we can get the bag and all its contents. I didn't do this last time. Oh, it's water that we have an excess amount of. Shit. Well, I think I should probably hang on to the food then. I just wanted to check to see if the radio, if that's something I should be literally clicking and checking each day. We're gonna skip his stupid bag offer. We're gonna die without food, so seems like not the best choice. Our grandparents always told us never to buy anything sight unseen. Man, we skip it, didn't do it. Probably for the best. Everyone's a bit hungry, not a little bit hungry, just a little bit hungry. Probably a good thing we hung on to the food. No expeditions right now. We almost forgot about this one time we shared some water with a group of people dressed in lab coats. Out of the blue, they came back today and administered us some very healthy looking shots. So, they were real doctors after all, we think. I'm gonna send Ted out. But everyone will be not sick. That was what I was hoping for. It just took like weeks for that to pay off, but I'm very happy that that finally came back around to help us. People are great. Everyone's in great health. Everyone's doing fine. You all ready for your expedition there, bud? What are we going to send you with? We have a harmonica, a padlock, a radio. I don't think I want to send you with the radio, dude. That seems like a bad idea. Maybe you can go out there and rob someone. Steal someone else's supplies and bring them back to us. That's my number one hope. That's what we're all pulling for. Don't let your expeditions get lost in the wild. Take a map with you. I would have if I could have. He took the gun with him. People are probably very hungry down here. You guys might as well take some food. When emptying our bucket in front of the shelter, gross, we discovered a hastily drawn map in one of the ruined walls. Someone drew out a route and marked a spot at the end of it. Maybe we could find supplies there. Mary Jane, you're on it. This is what you were made for. Quick, greasy, unknown supply runs. Who knows what good could come of it? Some cards. Lucky find. We were afraid the map was a trap leading us straight into a camp full of bandits. It turned out to be true. At the end of the path, we found some supplies that might be helpful. Wait. Oh, the map is true, not the fact that it led to bandits. I thought it was saying that it leading to bandits was what was true. Oh, dehydrated, all fatigued. Mary Jane has been caught sneaking out under the cover of night. Yikes. Dolores was furious when Mary Jane revealed she was going on a date with some bandit boy. She met him during an expedition. Mary Jane asked for a chance to contact her date via written note to apologize for not showing up. Sure. Young love. We gotta let these kids run wild and follow their hearts, you know? I guess. After hours of tears, begging, pleading, and some more tears, Dolores caved. Mary Jane wrote a note to the bandit boy, drew some hearts with tomato soup, and left to drop it off. She came back angry and disappointed. Apparently the boy was eaten by a mutant raccoon while waiting for her the other night. Mary Jane said it was for the best. He was clearly better raccoon fodder than boyfriend material. That's a nice consolation, Mom. Really assuring. There's a man at our doorstep who wants to be our friend. At least that's what he says. He looks harmless, although he seems to have acquired an extra pair of arms as a result of some weird mutation. He assures us we will not get sick. Please repay us, do something nice, take some water. I certainly can't give you food, and I want to give something. I want to do some good, I guess. I'm really hoping that this radio comes back to help us soon. Whether pity or fear for the bandits, we're not sure. We agreed to give it to them. We will be calmer knowing that someone else is looking out for us, especially someone with so many arms. It's good, is what I'm saying. Is that I think that was a good call, hopefully. The siblings visited today. They told us they're searching the town for a safe space that would do well as a possible camp. So far, their group has been living in a tent, but they're picking up more wastelanders every day and simply don't have enough space. They mentioned that a map of the neighborhood could be very helpful. You think the tattered map would still be some use? Maybe the parts that are tattered aren't that great anyways. The radio seems to be kind of chiming in here. Sadly, we couldn't help our friends. They were a bit disappointed, but accepted our decision. We wish them luck, and they left to continue their search. Everyone's feeling a little rough here still. We'll be fine. We were able to retrieve another message from the government. The military is preparing a rescue mission. They want all survivors to head to a specific location in the area. Even if I hadn't tattered the map earlier, I would have just given it away just before this came up. God, the problem is they provided us with geographical coordinates, but we need a map to find out where. It's just a bunch of gobbledygook. So we got nothing to go off of. I think Ted just came back. I think I heard the hatch. Everyone, you look great. He returned with the rifle. That's good. Couldn't find it without it. Before leaving our neighborhood, our expedition noticed a group of scavengers. We didn't know them, yet they didn't have any reservations about scavenging the area clear. We decided to steal one of the numerous backpacks they had while they weren't looking. Lucky find, there was a can of soup. There was some cans inside. Oh, it's soup. The sound of glass hitting glass while running with a backpack could only mean one thing: water. At the bottom of the backpack, underneath a dozen or so pieces of women's underwear, we found a first aid kit. This last expedition got us thinking maybe we could just drive away from this nightmare somehow. Of course, most of the automobiles available are completely burnt out, but if we find a solid base and scavenge enough parts, perhaps we could build a vehicle of our own. We better keep an eye out for those on future expeditions. That seems like a lofty ambition. I would be very surprised if that was the sort of thing that you managed to acquire while out scavenging. You know what? Cure the sickness. Let's just get him healthy as quick as we can. Boredom is overwhelming. We don't have TV. We don't have a suitcase or an axe to keep us occupied either. The typical toys, adult toys. Is someone knocking on our hatch? Ted and Mary seem let down, but we have more important things to do than play theater right now. They were just going to act out The Shining or something like that. Starving, hey? Alright, you guys snack down. That's not a sentence. I'm sending people up top again. A group of people dressed in green pajamas knocking on our hatch is not something that we anticipated. Yet this is exactly what happened. Furthermore, they insisted they are merry men and wish to take from the rich and give to the poor. We're pretty poor, so maybe we could make some new friends. This feels like a mistake, but this has been going way longer than I ever expected that it would, so I'm kind of just curious. Just living risky, you know? These merry men were not merry at all. They told us that we were rich and that we should share with the other 99% of the wasteland. They grabbed a few things and left. We couldn't do anything to stop them. Their green clothes were too damn hypnotizing. Maybe we should have used the rifle to stop them. Huh? That seemed like that could have been like a good solution. Maybe something clever, something smart that we could have done. Not anymore. Well, you know what, Mary Jane? Try and gamble for some supplies. Place some lofty bets. And just, you know, risk it all. Hopefully you bring back something. Mary Jane left with the equipment. Don't have anything to hand out there. Someone paid us a visit today. It was an overly cheerful, red-haired woman accompanied by a grumpy-looking mercenary type. Well, I don't have a gas mask. I don't really need ammo because I don't have a gun, so you guys can take a hike. It was hard to turn down because of that damn cheerfulness, but we did it anyway. The woman seemed a bit disappointed and tried to offer us schematics for some weird gun. We turned that down too. It's not like we have any tools around here anyways. Well, it's not going so hot. You guys should get on a water rotation here together. Supplies are scarce, morale is low, you can almost smell the desperation in this shelter. We're pretty sure there's a small group of survivors nearby, mostly folks from a retirement home. It shouldn't be hard to borrow some of their supplies. They're old anyways, right? They're probably old and have a gun or something, right? They're probably going to shoot us on the way. Achievement, the dark side. I'm robbing people. Oh my god. Did we just murder people? It seems like it was a bit bloody. We're now richer in some supplies, but for some reason we don't feel very good about it. Let's just never mention this whole thing again. I think we robbed a bunch of old people. We're monsters. She's crossing over to starvation. Guess what? You guys get to have a feast. So easy to escalate a silly argument in close quarters doesn't help. We were chatting and it started to fight. We'll hope it'll be over soon. We could barely sleep after all that arguing. Let's hope that won't happen again. Ted's stomach is rumbling. Ted has rested. And Dolores is still hungry? Didn't I literally just feed you? You guys eat again. Do you know what? Climb yourself out of this little hole you're in, a food hole. When conducting our daily supply count, we noticed that a soup can was missing. We're absolutely sure it was here yesterday. That can only mean one thing. We have a thief soup among us. Now we just need to figure out who the culprit is. I don't think we need to accuse anyone. Don't have a map, can't do that. Who ate the soup? Who ate the soup? I'm thinking that maybe we just let it slide. Shit, but they might just steal more soup again. I might continually lose soup by not making a proper decision there, you know? Whatever happened to our precious soup, we'll let it go. One can isn't worth the drama and arguments that would ensue, and we really don't have enough evidence to figure out who did it. Maybe we just made a mistake when counting. Will we ever know for sure? But if someone did steal it, they'll be taking their secret to the grave. Strange guy in a blue jumpsuit asked us to trade him a water chip. A water chip? What the hell is that? I similarly want to know. Maybe he'll give us a map chip in return, or a salvation chip. Something that I can actually use. Hey, we regained an axe and found like a checkerboard. We explained politely that we didn't have any water chip, but we were happy to share some water with him. The man was visibly disappointed, but thanked us for the water and left us his gas mask. Nothing made us happier than the sight of Mary Jane returning. We finally check what we can find between the rubble in our own backyard, our poor lawns and flowers and everything like that. In the tool shed, we found an axe. And we use the barbecue here almost every weekend, and the garden table is mostly destroyed, but we found a checkers table. The garage still has 2 walls left, but mostly things inside are gone, not even the bicycles, and we still managed to find a little bit of water. While exploring the wasteland, we got a bit tired and decided to take a short rest. When we were about to go, we noticed a few bottles stuck in a pile of junk. More water. Those cards we took with us outside, well, they're staying outside. So let me get this straight. We lost 1 bottle of water, gained a glass... we gained 3 bottles of water is another way to look at it. A gas mask, an axe, a checkers board, and all we lost was cards? That was the single best expedition ever. Cards. Cards, guys. They're the way to go. Wait, is there more? We window shopped near a parking lot for a vehicle that wasn't completely burnt out. Unfortunately, we found nothing of value. Maybe future expeditions. Okay, so we're still keeping an eye out for that. For the whole, maybe we can find a car situation. Dehydrated. Oh, I almost missed the fact that they needed a little more. No expedition just yet. He's fatigued. He's still fatigued. Nah, I'm gonna send him up top, I think. Plenty of distant relatives, but none of them mean as much to us as Auntie Ada. She lives in the country, so there's a good chance she's still configuring her cow counting machine and not worrying about nukes raining down on her henhouse. Too bad we don't have a photo of her, or do we? We put some photos into a book a while ago after the giant coffee spill incident. Giant coffee spill? Was the coffee giant or was the spill giant? There's some questions there. I would love to know more. Bingo! Our scout handbook holds more than a ton of knowledge useful in times of apocalypse. There are some photos stuck in between the pages, as well as some crosswords. We're saved. Only a few of them are solved. Well, I'm sure that's all well and good and nice to have. Yikes! Okay, let's try and get her back on track as quickly as possible there. And probably the gas mask, hey? I was thinking gas mask or axe. This is seeming like probably the better bet at the moment. I can't believe we keep like spending this, but it keeps being good. Mary Jane, you just keep your eyes down low. I don't want you paying any attention to that. Ted left, took that with him. Fatigued, hungry. You guys can worry about... Actually, do you know what? Take a can of soup to hopefully try and recover faster. There are only so many things you can do in a tiny bunker, so we thought, why not play some games? They're not just for kids, you know? We legit have checkers. We do have a game to play, although I don't know if I would ever get more sick of a game more quickly than checkers. Go Fish, maybe? I don't even know. I could probably play Go Fish longer. We played I Spy. It was pretty fun for the first 3 minutes. After that, everything got bored of the letter W. Time for rations. Timmy's just not coming back, eh? We had a curious visitor. One of them was making the sound of a galloping horse using a pair of rocks and hitting them against each other, very Monty Python-esque, while his companion was pretending to ride said horse. They claimed to be a very important guest to seek some magical cup. They're on the search for the Holy Grail. Only they lost their way in the wasteland. They asked permission to have a quick look at our map to determine their whereabouts. I'm so sorry. That map was so useful. Oh, I heard someone like sneeze or something. Are you both sick now? What was... Oh, maybe that was the sickness breaking or something like that. You all good? Although we tried to decline politely, the guests were clearly offended. They galloped away, waving their wooden swords and screaming something about cutting down shrubberies. Shrubberies? Absolutely crazy. And Mary Jane is rested, is all well now. That went great. You too. Couple of troopers. I mean, we've lost a lot, but I never expected to live this long. I am baffled and excited, and I feel like there's hope. So thank you guys so much for watching. Maybe we can win in the next one. I'll see you again soon.